Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, as-salatu was-salam ala Rasulullah. Today our lesson in Traveler 2, in Model 3. Our lesson is D, it's about reading, page 40. So, in this lesson we have some objectives or goals. Number one, identify some words that related to jobs. Identify, that means to recognize, to know these words which is related to jobs in general. Number two, talking about bad job experiences. Talking about bad job experiences. So we have two goals that we want to achieve. Before we move to the other section, we have two adjectives. We have two adjectives, good and bad. They are opposite of each other, good and bad. The one thing that we want to know, it's when we use good, like it's okay. But when something is better, that means it's like more than good. And then we have best, which is at the top. The best is at the top. And the opposite side here, we have bad, like this person, he can't find a bus, so this is bad. But when you hit someone or your car is broken, this is worse. So we have bad and we have worse. At the end, if your house is on fire or something, or you have fire, this is the worst. This is the worst. So we have degrees for these two adjectives. Discuss. Number one, what do you think the worst job in the world is? So, we have many jobs, different jobs. We have good jobs and bad. But what is the worst one, in your opinion? Think about that for a moment. Then I will give you my answer or my opinion. In my opinion, this job is the worst. Why? Because I can't climb all of this high tower to change the light. So, because of a lot of risk and the situations that if you have any mistakes, then you will fall down. So for me, this is the worst job. Number two, which of the following make people not like their job? So we have some elements like salary, working hours, employer, colleagues, routine, and workplace. Workplace. We will get to this through these words to know the meaning of all of them, one by one. The first one, it's about the salary. What is the meaning of salary? Like when you work and you get the money at the end of the month, this is what we call it a salary. This is what we call it a salary. Working hours. It talks about the time, the length time. Like for example, if you have part-time job, that means you go into the job for about 4 hours. But if you have full-time job, sometimes it will be like for about 8 hours. So this is what the meaning of working hours. Employer. Employer, it refers to the organization or the owner of the business. So he is your boss or your manager. Your boss or your manager. Colleagues, the meaning of colleagues, it refers to the people who work with you. The people who work with you. You can see it like in the workplace, at the same workplace. Routine. What is the meaning of routine? Routine, it's something you do it over and over, like you do it every day, mostly. For example, we have this example, like he starts a new day, he go to work, happy at his work, then busy time, take a break, and etc. Like the next day, he'll do these things again. So this is what we call it routine, something we do it over and over again. Workplace. Workplace, it talks about the position or the place you work in. For example, this one is a factory. They work in a factory. This one is an office. This one is a lab. So all of these, we can call it work places. After that, we will move to the article. We have four people in this article who are talking about their bad experience. The first one, his name is Larry. As you can see him in the picture, he worked at a sweet factory. Sweet, it's like biscuit, chocolate, they're making chocolate or biscuit or anything that is sweet. He just lasted for only a week. Lasted, that means staying. He just stayed in his job for just one week. So please remember these people, because we will read about them in the article. The second one, he is Dan. As you can see him, he working in a safari park. He enjoyed part of his job, part, not the whole time of his job or the whole things. But chasing monkeys wasn't fun at all. So he may be like chasing monkeys, and we will know when we read the article. The third one, his name is Faisal. He worked at a call center, the one who answered calls. It was difficult for him in the beginning, but then he got used to it. That means he can work there. It was hard, then it was okay after a while. The last one, his name is Willie. As you can see him, he works in a box factory. You can see boxes. He lasted or stayed there for just a month, 30 days, just one month. Now I want to talk about two things that is important in reading section. We have something that we call it skimming and scanning. When I ask you to skim something or the article, I just want you to look at it and get the general idea. You don't have to read every word. You don't have to get the meaning of all the words. But scanning, you look only for a specific information. Like if you have a question and you just look for a specific information, that's what we call it scanning. So now, go back to the article, page number 40. The article, it's called Someone's Got to Do It. Like someone got to do this job. Please skim this article for about, I will give you sometimes like about 2 minutes to skim and get some ideas. Now I will play this article. Please listen carefully and pay attention.
Job 4. Someone's got to do it. Tell us your bad job experiences. It can't be that bad, can it? I once worked at a sweet factory, putting sugar on sweets and biscuits. I thought it would be nice because I was a big fan of sweets. Well, I used to go home with sugar in my hair, up my nose and in my ears. It was disgusting, and the smell was so strong that I couldn't get used to it. I only lasted a week, but one good thing did come out of my experience. By the time I left, I had given up sweets altogether. Larry Mitchell, Southampton.
I worked for one summer at a safari park. I liked feeding the penguins and the other animals in general, but cleaning up after them wasn't much fun, as you can imagine. The worst job I had was in the monkey reserve. You see, as visitors drove through, monkeys usually climbed on their cars for a free ride. At the exit of the reserve, one of us had to stop the monkeys from getting into the next reserve. I can tell you, chasing monkeys around with a stick in the middle of the summer is not fun at all. Dan Given, Hemsby.
My job can be really hard sometimes, as it involves taking customers' orders, answering calls, and in general dealing with people and their complaints. You see, I work at a call centre, and the things I have to put up with are awful. Just because people can't see you face to face, they think it's okay to be rude. It was really difficult in the beginning, but by the end of the first month, I learned not to take it too personally. Once I got so angry with a customer, I shouted back at him. It almost cost me my job. Faisal Ahmed, Joe.
I often remind myself, no matter how bad things get, they could be worse. I could still be working there. I don't know how I lasted a month at the box factory. I had enough before the end of the first week. It was exhausting on the body. But what it did to your mind was most worrying. Boring just isn't a strong enough word. I worked with a man who had been there for 20 years. He told me he dreamt of boxes. He saw boxes when he closed his eyes. And he even tasted boxes when he ate. I was so glad when I was fired. Willie Hawkins, Bath.
As you can see, all of these situations were bad experience for them. So I will not translate all of these. I will not talk about all of this. I will just talk about some words. Like, for example, sweet, it's something with sugar, like biscuit or chocolate. Big fan, when you're a big fan for something, that means you like it. Disgusting, something horrible or awful, you don't like it. For the second one, for Dan, safari park. Safari park, it's like a zoo or a place where animals being kept. I like feeding. Feeding, like when you give food. When you give food to someone, that means feeding. Reserve, it's a place or area where it's surrounded by like wall or something for a specific purpose. Climb, when you go up, like on the stairs or not on the stairs, but when you go up for something. Chasing, when you run after something or you follow something, that's what we call it chase. Chase. Faisal, because he worked at the call center, that means he received complaints that if the situation is unacceptable, that's what we call it, complaint. Rude, when you say something bad, when you insult something, that's what we call it, rude. Shouted, when you make your voice or you talk loudly or your voice get up, and it almost cost me my job. Cost me my job almost. Like he was about to be fired from his job, to leave his job. Remind, when you cause something to remember or someone to remember. Lasted, as I said before, stayed. Exhausting. This is for a very tired person. When he's so tired or very tired, we call that exhausting or exhausted. And the last one, glad, which means happy. He was happy when he was fired from his job. Now we have all the 4 people, and we have these places or workplaces: zookeeper, factory worker, call center agent. Please match them. There is like 2 people here with one workplace. You will have about 1 or 2 minutes to think about this question and match these 2. Now we will get to the answers. So Larry, he worked in a factory. He was a factory worker. Dan, he was a zookeeper. Faisal, he was a call center agent. And Willie, he was like Dan in a factory as a factory worker. The second question. Here we have some statements. And I want you to choose who did this. Like, for example, I worked there for a month. Is he Larry, Dan, Faisal, or Willie? So you have just to put his first letter of his name. Go through this, and I will give you about 2 minutes to think about the answers. For example, Willie, he worked just there for a month. So we put W, his first letter of his name. Now we'll get to the answers. So Willie, he just worked there for a month. Faisal, he got used to it. It was hard at the beginning, but then he got used to it. Willie, he was happy when he lost his job, when he was fired or has lost his job. Dan, he enjoyed part of his job, part, not the whole of his job. My job helped me improve my health. This is for Larry, when he stopped eating sugar or sweet. I still have the same job. Faisal, he's still in the call center, at the call center. The last one, I worked there for less than a month. He was Larry. He just lasted there for one week. So that means less than a month. Less than a month. Here we have some words, and he asks you to find the synonym, the same meaning from each paragraph. For example, the first one, extremely, unpleasant, horrible. You can find the word that has the same meaning in the Larry paragraph, and etc. So think about this, and then we will get the answers. Well, the first one is disgusting, something horrible, and extremely unpleasant. An area of land that is protected. This for the reserve, it has the same meaning. A thin, something like small, it's not thick. For example, this pen is thin, while this one is thick. So a thin piece of wood, it's a stick, except something that is annoying without complaining. Put up with. Help somebody remember something. Remind. And really tiring, this is for exhausting. All of these, they have the same meaning, the same meaning. The last thing here, and the last part of our lesson today, it's which of the jobs in the text would you least like to do? You don't like or you don't want to do, and why? Think about this question, and if you can answer this question, just do it. That's it, and that's all for today. Thank you so much, and I hope you enjoy our lesson and get all the information that you need. Thank you.